The topic of our presentation is age and generational communication. We hope that you'll learn a lot more about this topic by the time that you're done watching our PowerPoint.
In our presentation, you will watch a short video featuring two Westchester University students, learn about what the definition of age is,
to do a brief interview about their feelings on age. Obviously, opinions and feelings may have differed if we were to ask
what a
people of different
generation
age
is,
groups, but we
and
thought
also
that they
learn
both
about
shared interesting
generations in America
responses.
and generation
So you can click the link
stereotypes.
provided to hear what they had to say.
The definition of age is defined as the length of time that a person has lived or a thing has existed.
Aging is the process of growing old, and it represents the changes in a person over time. According to research found on www.agingcarefl.org, scientists theorize that aging likely results from a combination of many factors. Genes, lifestyle, and disease can all affect the rate of aging. Studies have indicated that people age at different rates and in different ways. Normal aging can bring about changes in eyesight, hearing, the brain, and even taste buds and other senses can decrease in sensitivity as the years go on. Parts of aging can also be genetic and are different for every individual. For example, some people may begin to bald at age 30, whereas others may not bald until 60s or 70s, or maybe they never will. Just as some people may begin to get gray hairs at age 30, whereas some may not go gray or white until 50s, and so on. Some people age better than others as they grow old. However, after reading the book and also looking at the quiz videos that are provided for our class, we found that there are certain ways that people can age successfully. First is having a sense of purpose. This means having a reason to be alive, rather than just being here and not knowing why you're here. Number 2 is personal growth. And this means that a person still has goals that they'd like to achieve and things that they'd like to do here on earth. Number 3 is self-acceptance. And this is accepting your own flaws and insecurities. Oftentimes, younger people are more insecure, we also found through research. Number 4 is autonomy, a part of society and self-determination. Number 5 is interaction with others. As you've seen, if you looked at the video that we provided in our intro, a lot of people do fear losing friends as they grow older because it is common to experience more death and see more death as you grow old. However, interaction with others does help one age successfully as opposed to not interacting with others. Number 6 is health. This is how healthy a person is and if they continue to get out. It's very important that with aging, you do still continue to be active and get out because health is a very big factor in properly aging.
Some iconic people throughout history have tried to define age using humor and wisdom. Aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength. Betty Friedan. Wrinkles only indicate where smiles have been. Mark Twain. Some people are old at 18 and some are young at 90. Time is a concept that humans created. Yoko Ono. In the reading by Maggie Kuhn, she says, "Old age is not a disaster. It is a triumph over failure, loss, illness."
The term ageism was coined in 1968. This term was created because many people in society had developed myths, stereotypes, and many misunderstandings about people as they age. Like racism and sexism, people who express ageism make general statements that are not true. Terms such as these imply that one group is superior to another. Ageism makes judgments about the actions, characters, and desires of people based on their age, and there is also a sense that old age is inferior to youth. Ageism has developed over many years as our society as a whole has put a greater value on youth than on aging. In many TV shows, movies, and even in printed media, there tends to be the idea that young is good and old is bad. One example of ageism is associating all old people with weakness and making the assumption that they aren't as strong as younger people. This is even present in the workplace, as it happens quite often that older people are denied jobs as compared to younger people because it's assumed that they won't be able to work as efficiently and as quickly. However, this is not true.
A generation refers to a group of individuals who were born during the same time. There are 6 living generations in America today. The brick-and-mortar generations are the mature, also known as the silent generation, and the baby boomers. The virtual generations are Generation X, Generation Y, also known as the millenniums, and Generation Z, also known as the boomlets. The mature, also known as the silent generation, was born between 1927 and 1945. They grew up during the Depression and World War II. They have traditional family values, they strive for comfort, and respect and authority are important to them. In the workplace, they are loyal and they have great interpersonal skills. Their communication style is more formal and written. The baby boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. They grew up when the Cold War, Kennedy assassination, and Vietnam War was happening. They are individualistic and idealistic. They are optimists and they question authority. They take their values to work and are driven more by values than money. They have the work your way to the top mindset, and they organize life around work and work around life. They communicate informally using first names instead of titles. Generation X were born between 1965 and 1980. This is when AIDS came about and when the Challenger explosion happened. They value independence and freedom because they were often left alone to accomplish tasks because their parents were at work. They believe in fun informality and have skeptical attitudes. They are responsible and self-sufficient in the workplace, and they thrive on diversity, challenge, and responsibility. Generation Y, also known as the Millenniums, were born between 1981 and 2000. This is a generation that I and probably most of my classmates are in. We grew up in a culturally diverse school and play environment with texting phones and Skype. We are very tech savvy. We are realistic, confident, and achievement oriented. We feel very pressured by others, however, we are hard workers and are driven by accomplishment. We have a strong desire for rewarding opportunities also. Generation Z, also known as the boomlets, were born after 2001. Internet, technology, war, terrorism, the recession, and social media shape their lives. They connect with others and like instant contact. They are driven to learn by graphics. They are multitaskers, and it is said by GettingSmart.com, 65% will work in jobs that don't exist today. Different generations have diverse communication styles, outlooks, work styles, attitudes about work, attitudes about life, experience with technology, and different values, traits, and goals. These dissimilarities among generations can cause misunderstanding since they tend not to be on the same page. This can lead to conflict. When this friction occurs, specifically in the workplace, it can negatively impact employee interaction and productivity. This can hurt the whole organization and business. The employees end up wasting valuable time and energy dealing with these catastrophes rather than focusing on producing a thriving business. Ways to fix these problems, either in the workplace or in general: you must minimize your generational framework, build knowledge and skills, and increase awareness and understanding of expectations of others. There are stereotypes made about each generation. It is said by some that the silent generation cannot do their jobs effectively and they are seen as unimportant. The baby boomers take up too much of the workforce because they are so big and they control everything. Generation X is lazy and self-centered. The millennials are too morally loose and disrespectful of others. They bounce around from job to job and rely too much on technology. Generation Z doesn't even know if they will have a future. Will college help? Will they even afford it?
Below you will find 2 examples of aging from 2 of the 3 members of this presentation. We are both happy with how we have aged so far and hope to continue to have as much success. How do you feel about your aging process thus far? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our presentation, and we hope that you were able to gain a lot more knowledge on the overall process of aging, age in general, and also generations.